Born ready.
And we are live.
Whoa.
No.
We should actually wait till some more people are watching.
Well, that's too late now because we just went live.
Okay. Well, Vanessa, take it away.
Well,
What up, guys? This is Triple Trouble Plus One. We have the brains. Who's the brains?
Chef, definitely.
The beauty.
That's Jaap.
It's 2 to
The
1.
bronze. That must be you, Heis. And the Korean Canadian.
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
me. Oh,
That's
so this is getting weird.
we took in a compound expert. So if you have any questions about compounds, Vanessa's gonna help you out.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know if you can actually call me a compound. Like I told you, I kind of suck.
At least try.
Okay.
No, you can call yourself a compound shooter now. You switched to the dark side.
True. The dark side is fun. Honestly, I should have shot a compound from the start.
I feel personally offended by you saying that.
Why?
Why a compound is not as fun as a recurve?
I don't know. I think I find it more fun. Like all the little gadgets, the release aids, the feeling of like hitting that wall is fun for me.
Okay. Fair enough.
Like the first few arrows for me with compound are fun, and then I'm like, this is the shit. This is better than recurve. And then after 30 arrows, I'm like, this is boring.
Yeah. Then you go back to recurve.
Yeah, then I do it. Yeah. Do you have any questions?
Wow.
Jeff, there's a
Let's
question
look
for
at
you.
the-
Jeff,
Yes.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm listening.
Jeff, there's a question for you. What is your draw length and your bow length?
My draw length is 31 inches, give or take.
Are we?
And my bow length is 70 inches. I think I could shoot a 72-inch bow if I wanted to, but I don't see a reason to because I like the string angle of a of a 70-inch bow. Sorry, Jaap and I were distracted about something else.
Exactly.
But yeah, I think if you're shooting under 28 inches, you can look at a 66-inch bow. And if you shoot over 28 inches, you can either do 68 for the speed or the string angle, or 70 for the forgiveness.
Yeah, because the question is also, what are the pros and cons of a longer and shorter bow? Like,
I think the con for a shorter bow would be the string angle for your fingers, so your fingers get in a pinch. And it's typically less forgiving, I would say, but it's not always the case. I don't know. What do you guys think?
nothing.
Oh well, we're used to that from you.
I don't have experience with longer short bows. So don't like. I think Chef is right.
What's the case for wooden bows, Jaap?
For wooden bows, and I guess it's the same for modern recurve as well as wooden bows. That if a bow is very short, it will build up most of its power in the last few inches. That's called stacking in the wooden bow world. So and that's something you don't really want because it's harder to control at the end, and then you mess up a little bit, and well, the bow will make that mistake bigger. And if you've got a very long bow, it's more forgiving. So I guess that's true. But you have a clicker, so the difference is much smaller than with a wooden bow, I guess. If that makes sense.
All right. Any Korean thoughts about this? Because
when I was shooting, I was between like 66 and 68. I couldn't decide which one, and I actually went back and forth a couple times. 66 gave me that nice power, and like you were saying, I had that stacking, but it made me feel like I had a really strong release at the end. The 68 gave me that stability for aiming, made me feel solid, and it was a little bit smoother. In the end, I stayed with 68 just because I like that smoothness rather than getting that power out of the shot. It just works better for me.
Yeah.
Somebody's asking, how long have you been doing compound and what are you using, Vanessa?
I've been doing compound for just about a year now. I decided to do it suddenly. I don't know if it fully counts as a year because I actually took the whole winter off because I'm too cheap to pay for a membership somewhere. But so now that the weather's nice, I can't even go outside and shoot. But I'm shooting this, my Prevail.
What a beaut.
You can see it, yeah. Prevail 37, it's red. I'm using SPX cams because I like that solid back wall feel. And yeah, basically I can't use much from my recurve stuff.
So weren't you afraid to, because the SVX cam is a like set draw length, right?
I think so. Honestly, I don't know much about equipment,
Okay.
to be fair.
So how did you determine your draw length? Did you try other bows before you bought this one, or?
Yeah, that's like the biggest thing that I think people struggle with when they're switching to compound is like, what is your draw length? And I think for recurvers, you can say maybe it's about half an inch or an inch shorter than your recurve draw length, because certain things change, like your front shoulder angle and things like that, and you have a release aid. But I was borrowing my friend's bow, Gord. He owns an archery shop here, Canada Archery Online, and he lent me his wife's bow. And his wife's draw length was 28, and I shot it for a couple weeks, and I knew for sure that it was too long because I felt overstretched, and I felt like, I don't know, like I couldn't get a solid feeling. So I knew because hers was 28, it was probably about 27. So that's where I'm at now.
All right. And that feels right. Or would you
Yeah.
like modify this a little bit or like tweak it a little bit?
Yeah, I'm working on my form a little bit, especially this front shoulder and this anchor position. So once I feel like that's solid, I'm gonna go back to the shop and say, okay, can you change the draw length?
As
Depending
if compound shooting has any form.
Oh, that was savage.
People are logging out now.
Yeah.
All compound shooters are gone.
Somebody's asking, did the giveaway end? But for the viewers that are actually paying
Do we have a
attention, there's a giveaway time in the bottom right corner of the screen. We will do it in about 23 minutes.
22 and a half, I would say.
For the record, for anybody
Well,
who is
giveaway.
interested.
What are we? A tap. Whoa. Oh, and it's not just a normal tap. It's the pro tap. Holy shit. That's amazing. How are we going to do the giveaway?
The giveaway will be pretty easy, but I'll explain it later
Yeah.
because people will go mad, I think. So you will have to do something for it.
For us.
Oh.
The thing is, you pay us 200
Curious.
euros, then we can actually send it. I don't know. It's going to be way easier. How is it for compound, Vanessa? Like, you have a longer compound mode. Makes it more stable and more adjusted.
Yeah, I think that's why more target compounds, they call it HTA, axle to axle.
Yeah.
And I think that's why target compounds are longer typically, and hunting compounds are a little bit shorter because it's easier to carry it through the woods, right, Chef?
Yes, it's easier to carry through the woods, and a shorter bow typically has a little bit of a higher speed, like more. It puts more energy into the arrow, so you can get more kinetic energy or like momentum into the arrow to eventually, hopefully, kill an animal if you're a hunter.
Yeah.
Right there,
So-
science.
I'm using 37. It's not like the longest you can get. I think there's like 40
Yeah.
inch axle axles and stuff like that, but it probably wouldn't work for me just because those boots are way too long.
And it goes too slow.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Chef, your WhatsApp notifications is popping at the upper right corner.
Cool.
Says someone in the live chat.
I'm gonna send you some scandalous messages right now, Chef.
Yeah, that's probably what's gonna happen now.
All gonna watch.
Oh. Sorry guys, this live streaming thing is freaking difficult.
I loved your technique week. I was watching all those videos before when they came out. So good.
Thanks.
Seriously.
Thank you.
Like I learned so much,
Oh.
especially the ex- like anchor point and then aiming and like how you're actually drawing and bringing your shoulder forward as you do it is all really good. Yeah.
Thank you.
Nice. Thank you. Yeah.
Which one you've
Took us
been
a
watching?
while.
Have you been watching both or the last one?
I watched all of them. The technique
Alright.
week.
The
Awesome.
new one.
The new one is actually like better because Jaap is in there.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
the one that I was just watching like recently when it came out, but they're all good.
I definitely learned more than Gijs in the technique week. He knew it already.
Probably. The first technique week was great because we got the fastest archery shot recorded right there, and I
Oh.
would say that's the best Triple Trouble video ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anybody hasn't seen it,
Mm.
I think I hold the world record for fastest archery shot. Unofficial, but you should go and check it out.
Just, I'm gonna drop a link in the.
Let us see.
Yes.
Sandra has a good question. I'm wondering whether you're noticing difference in performance between cheap sites, medium price sites, and expensive sites. So he's putting prices below $40, between $40 and $150, and above $150. So Jaap, you have had a cheap site before, and now you're using I would say medium price site. What's the
Yeah.
biggest difference between those two for you?
Well, the biggest difference was that the cheap one was not round; it was an oval. So, it was a piece of shit. But I don't know. The obvious things like what's the name of this one?
You have the Shibuya dual click.
Yeah, and that's a really great site, although I don't really know much about it. I mean, it's really smooth, it's very stable, you can just see and feel it won't break down on you, and yeah, it's solid. And the other one, I have no idea what that was either, but the cheap one, it was kind of a toy. It was from the Intertoys, you know. You can just it wobbles and it's loose and well, it's a piece of crap actually. So I don't know what kind of price you're looking at if you're looking for a decent site.
Yeah, so the Shibuya dual click in our store would be €149.
Yeah. Well, yeah, okay, and that's a piece of quality.
Yeah.
So what are you looking at if you're looking for something cheaper but still decent?
There is a lot of I would say fake sites. Like they're actually sites, but they are copied from another brand. And there is some pretty decent ones out there, but I wouldn't have like a specific example. I think I'm sponsored by Excel, obviously. But if you're in the market for an intermediate price site or like a medium price site, I would always go for the dual click by Shibuya. And then if you want like one step up, it would be the Ultima. And then if you want one or another step up, I would go Excel, like the Achieve.
Yeah, because the main two side companies in the archery world are actually Excel and Shibuya right now.
Yeah, it used to be Sherlock as well, back when Vanessa was young.
Shut up.
But
What do you think
But I
are the
re-
big differences between Shibuya and Axel? 'Cause those are all debates for me too.
So the reason I shoot an Excel rather than a Shibuya is that I feel like an Excel site will always move when you give it one click. And with Shibuya sites that I've had in the past, I would have to check the little site block if it was even moving when I was giving it just a couple clicks. So like the fact that you know you're gonna actually move your site when you give it a click, that's for me the biggest advantage from Excel over Shibuya, for instance. I don't know about the newer Shibuya sites because I haven't shot them for a while.
Yeah, I have the newer Shibuya sites, and it's like, yeah, it sometimes it just needs a few clicks. Like when you've just turned your sight down and it needs to go up again, you just need like 2 clicks before it actually moves. But I had that on my XL too, but that was worn out. Like I used it for 5 years, so that had the same thing. The only thing is the feeling of the knobs, like how they turn. Like Shibuya goes like a little bit smoother. XL has like just clicks more, but it doesn't matter in performance. It doesn't matter.
That's
Not at
true.
all.
Like I shot Shibuya over Axel just because like the Axel sight was kind of getting hard to turn. Like it hurt. It hurt that knob.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just like a delicate little flower, but I like.
Don't flatter yourself.
Delicate little flower.
So now, Chef, I remember I was looking at AliExpress.
Yeah.
These cheap fake sites because
Yeah.
I couldn't be bothered to spend a lot of money on the site. So I thought, yeah, why not? Let's try it. And so I sent Chef a screenshot of one of those sites, and he was like, "No, not gonna happen.
Yeah.
We're gonna get you a Shibuya because this is just."
Yeah. Yap wanted to get
crap.
a Chinese knockoff site for like, what was it, $50 or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
He's like, well, it looks kind of decent. I'm like, no, we're not gonna do this. We're not gonna condone of this behavior. so yeah, we got him a Shibuya instead.
So now we still don't know if they're any good.
No, but that
What
might
was
be
it copied
something
from?
in the future. Sorry?
What site was it copied from?
Any major company. Like it was sort of a mix between a CBE and a Sherlock. Like it had the triangular
Wow.
cutouts in the bar, but
yeah.
but it had the rough thread of a CBE.
Oh wow.
So
Yeah, that's not a good idea.
no,
Someone in the chat says, if you can invest in a good site, do we agree in that? On
I
that?
do, yeah. And like we said before, it doesn't have to be super expensive. If you want the best site, in my opinion, right now, you should get the Achieve XP. But if you're looking for a decent site in the mid-price range, just get yourself a dual click.
And if you have to choose, for example, between a new set of limbs or and a site, or like any other like arrows, for example, like would you upgrade your arrows or would you upgrade your site?
It depends on what you previously had, I suppose. So like if your site is almost falling apart, or if it's moving during competition, something like that, then you should probably change out your site. But if it's just because you want to have a site that's easier to move, I think it's better to invest in something else, because eventually a site is just a holder for a little pin, and if it stays put where it should stay put, yeah, that's all it needs to do, basically.
And the way it moves is just luxury, basically.
I have a question for beginner equipment because I was, excuse me, I was teaching a girl how to shoot, and she's a complete beginner, and she went out and bought some equipment.
Yeah.
And she was going through a debate of, do I get a decent arrow rest, or a decent plunger, or a decent tab, or a decent sight? And I don't know which one you guys would prioritize first. Now, having seen what she got, I think I have an idea, but I'm curious about your opinion.
Okay, so
I
arrow
would
rest. Arrow rest, I would do super rest. Just put a Hoyt super rest on and
Yeah.
save some money there. And if it breaks, replace it, because they're like €2 a piece.
Yeah.
I would say tap or button.
Yeah.
First, like really beginner tap.
Yeah, because your tab is something that's so essential in your technique that it will make more difference than actually tuning your bow perfectly with a expensive button. That said, I think a Shibuya button is not too expensive, and they're super decent, and I think they're €37.50 or something.
So they're super smooth. So yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you want from a button.
I think Jaap is shooting a Shibuya.
I'm not answering this.
For the record, Jaap started shooting recurve when he joined Triple Trouble, so that's about 1 year ago.
Yeah, a little over a year.
A little over a year. Yeah.
A little over a year. So yeah, he doesn't know
Yeah.
anything about a recurve.
No,
But
and
you know
also
stuff
the
about
bow.
wooden bows.
Sorry, what's
I
that?
said, but you know stuff about wooden bows.
About wooden bows, yeah. But the recurve I shoot is not mine. It's a chef, so I have no idea what it is.
You have a Hoyt Formula RX 25-inch with
Yeah.
medium
Foam
F7
core. Bam.
38-pound foam core
yeah.
limbs.
That I know. Yeah.
And HMC 22 stabilizers, Shibuya dual click, and a Shibuya Ultima rest, and a Shibuya plunger button.
Probably.
Do you still have the purple string?
No, but
Did you get it
I've got another. I got a new one, a new
Oh.
purple string.
Wow.
Yeah,
Because
how
the
much are
old
you
one
shooting? Oh, sorry.
Sorry, was that? How
No,
much
what
am I
happened to the
shooting?
old one?
Oh, the old one was so old and so wrecked.
I shot with it.
I shot with it.
Yeah,
And
my
just bought
my
some
little
with it.
brother bought it new, and then he used it up until a point where it was almost not usable anymore. Then Gijs used it for a bit, and then after that, Jaap used it. So
I thought it was fine. A little rough, but
Yeah,
I was
Uh,
gonna ask you, how much are you shooting bare bow and how much, or wooden bows, and how much are you shooting recurve now?
more recurve than wood actually. Yesterday I shot a wooden bow. Today I shot recurve though. But I'm not. Yeah, for the past few months I've pretty much only been shooting recurve.
Cool.
I don't know why. It's just new or something. Just a new game. Whatever.
Cool.
Yeah.
let's see. We have a couple
Those are
questions. Yeah.
We have another question actually.
Yeah. Why am I the only one reading out the questions? Gijs, it's
Oh,
your turn.
I'm watching too. It's a quick one. A lot of people being positive about the technique week. Thank you guys.
Very nice.
When you aim, do you use the spot or the outside ring of the tunnel?
The spot. I used the little dot that's in my side pin. Wait.
Jeff is gonna promote his side pin now.
Yes.
He's there.
You guys asked for it. So I have my own side pin.
You get 5 minutes from this live stream to promote your own stuff. Everything.
Okay, so my side pin, my side pin has a like fiber in the middle that you can make brighter by opening up this whole rheostat cover. So now it's brighter than it just was.
Holy shit.
Cool.
And I use this little dot to aim with, even though it comes with rings. So it has like different size rings that you can put in the aperture, so you can make the border, like the edge of the side pin, smaller or bigger. And I've experimented a bit with it, but so far I've liked to shoot it just open. And yeah, it's called the Axel Curve RXF, and if you want to look it up, you can find it under that name. That was.
How much?
I like to call it.
I have no idea. I'll post a link in the description or in the the chat.
Yeah, you're doing that?
I will. Yeah.
Okay. And so the question was, do you aim with the tunnel or the dot? So you use the dot, and why would you use the tunnel? That's more like of a reference, right? To see if you like
Well,
it
some
can help
people
you
shoot without a
to
pin.
some extent.
Didn't you shoot without a pin, Vanessa?
Yeah, I did shoot without a pin, because it was my coach in Canada. It was her theory or understanding that you should actually be looking at the place you want to shoot and not covering it. So she said, you know, like your mind can subconsciously do the aiming for you, and all you have to be doing is looking at the middle. Because I guess she found that some people would peek around the pin and try and move it and then put it back on right before shooting. So that was the theory behind it, and I was comfortable with it. I would never say that I performed super well, but it was okay.
Well, you performed well enough to compete on an international level, so.
I aim with the dot, but I don't cover the 10. I like aim low in the 9, so I look over my dot into the 10. So I don't cover it, but at least like I have the dot, so I know actually where the shot breaks. So yeah, I can still see if it goes left. That's what I do.
What if you're aiming off?
Then I have to actually mind a little bit that I don't like when I aim off. Like I always aim low in the 9. When I aim off, I tend to like go a little bit higher. So I would go to the 8. So I have to actually mind that I watch over my pin today. That's the disadvantage. But I tried aiming like on the 10, and that's just mentally challenging for me. I worked on it, but
Nice.
yeah, that's what I do.
Nee.
Let Jaap talk for a minute.
Yeah. So where has he gone? Okay.
Hey.
I actually use both. Now I'm thinking about it. I just put the whole thing, the ring and the top, somewhere in the middle. And I guess that's because I've always really because I've always been shooting without
Instinctive.
sight. So I'm just looking at the target, and I'm just staring at the target, and I don't even pay much attention to it. I guess it's like a second thing, like but I don't. I'm not really trying to put the dot in the middle or the ring or just the whole stuff. Put it in the middle, and so I can understand what your coach was talking about, Vanessa, because I think there is a obviously there's a natural ability of humans to aim in the middle, and you don't really need that pin, I guess. That'd be a nice experience. Have you tried that, Chef?
I have tried it shortly, but I couldn't get the same scores that I did without, and then I just like put the pin back in. But I haven't I haven't tried it for very long. It was just like maybe 5 ins.
I have it on my Hoyt gold medalist actually. At the sub tunnel side. It's easy to use. It doesn't matter that much, in my opinion. I just like to have the dot as a reference, like where the shot breaks.
I have an example for people asking if they should invest in a proper plunger button. I have a plunger button that came with a bow that I bought secondhand, or got secondhand, and I think Sander will know about this because I got it from him, and I think he's watching. This is not the best. It's not the best plunger button you could get. So if you would just listen to this. That's not what a plunger is supposed to sound like. So a plunger should be smooth, and if you press it in, it shouldn't matter if you press from the side or in the middle, sort of, or it should make not much of a difference, and that one is not a great example. So look for a plunger that's smooth when you press it in.
Do you have a biter laying around somewhere, or Shibuya? Like, close.
So this is a biter plunger.
I knew it.
And I'll hold this one next to the mic. Wait, I'll hold the mic up so you can actually see that I'm holding it next to the mic.
ASMR.
So there's nothing. I think. I don't know what it sounds like next to the mic, but...
Doesn't hear anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it doesn't do matter.
Yeah, plungers do matter for shootability. Somebody asked about the Whiffler plunger, and the Whiffler plunger sounds something like this. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Vanessa, we've got a question for you. Axel Simons asks, when I shoot, I try to get my shoulders aligned. The problem is that it starts hurting my both shoulder neck. What am I doing wrong? Vanessa is a physiotherapist.
A pussy.
She is... okay.
What?
What? No.
Yeah, you should learn manners. Vanessa, take
Yap used to be my favorite. Now I think I have no choice but to make it Heist.
You first have to learn how to pronounce his name.
So bow shoulder. That's interesting because bow shoulder's involved in lifting. But if it's your neck and your shoulder, I'm thinking like there's a couple muscles there that control this movement, but also control this movement. So thinking of upper traps, which is like, we always talk about that. Yeah, it's a big muscle here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then there's also another one called levator scapulae, and this one's usually the one that causes problems in your neck and your shoulder. Basically, it starts from the top of your neck and it goes down to the top of your scapula, and it lifts. But if you're starting to get,
is that the one that's attached to like the bone on the back of your head that really hurts when they're like?
Is that sub-occipital?
Suboccipitals. Yeah, there's suboccipitals right here. Nice.
What?
I bet you know that because of headaches, right, Chef?
Yeah, that's a very common term for people with headaches.
Yeah, suboccipitals, but it's just underneath there, Heis. So it starts at your first 4 vertebrae, and then it goes down to the top of your shoulder blade. But if you're having problems with that, I'm guessing it's because maybe you're hiking up your shoulder a little bit. So keeping that in a relaxed position would be better. Yeah, I'm guessing that's what it is.
Yeah, so how you can check it, it's actually like recording yourself, put up a camera and record yourself from shoulder height, and you can actually see the lines from your shoulder, and if you see that your shoulder is really high, then yeah, Vanessa has right, and you should maybe lower it.
Yeah, think about the technique week video when you talked about just like stance and alignment and everything. Like it should be teed.
Yeah.
You know.
And not like
Yeah, you should keep your shoulder low, just like if you lift your arm from a normal position to up, and don't force it all the way up. Like keep your shoulder low. Yeah. Let's look for more questions. I'm kind of lost in the question.
I actually have a question about the shoulder too, guys, but not just keeping it low. Do you keep it super low, like as low as it goes, or do you keep it kind of just in the middle there?
Just in the middle there.
Yeah.
I don't try to like actively push it down. I just try to not pull it up, sort of, if that makes sense. So it's in a neutral position.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try to push it kind of like down forward, but it never, like I push it down from it feels like I'm pushing it down, but I'm actually not doing it. Like it doesn't, it just stays. Yeah, it's weird.
Cool.
It's weird. Yeah, it's not as low like Steve. I don't know if you know Steve's technique. His front shoulder is like super low.
Yeah,
like
it's like Brady's.
Yeah, like Brady's.
Yeah, I think Steve and Brady's shoulder are like in the same position. Yap.exe has stopped working.
No, I'm just listening. I'm just learning. So there's, but talking about the shoulder. Oh, battery almost empty, of course.
No.
But 20%. So. How long are we now?
I don't wanna stir the pot. I don't know how to say that. Look at the time, guys.
Yeah, I know.
Holy shit!
We have something to give away for you guys, and it has been 17:30, so we need to. Yeah. So the way you can win this tab is that we came up with a number that I have written down on a piece of paper, and the number is between 1 and 100, and there is only one answer per person. So, I think you guys can't hear the other people anymore now. I think I'm slightly messed up. So, yeah. You guys are now in a Skype call, but the rest can't hear you, so they can only hear me. But I have an illustration up that says one answer per person. You have to pick a number between 1 and 100, and you can win a fair weather tab with a metal plate. And I think it has been up for long enough now that I can cut back to you guys. So, yeah. You guys are up in the air again, so we can...
What up?
Numbers are coming in.
I'm getting kind of nervous.
The first one to get the right number gets it.
Jaap is out. Jaap is out.
Son of a.
It's not being
Okay,
guessed yet.
This is
Let
the
me
weirdest
log
live
into
stream
my
chat
other
I've ever
YouTube
seen.
accounts. That's fine, but you still lost. Let me log into my other YouTube account so I can guess again.
No, I still haven't seen the number. Ooh, Vanessa's close.
Sweet.
Oh, that's an insider, Vanessa. I wonder how many people will get that reference.
I hope they
So there's
do.
80 people. If no one gets it, that would be great.
If no one gets it, then it's
Yeah.
Then you give it to me.
no 80, one try per person. So some people trying multiple times. It's one try per person.
Oh, it's those Greeks again.
And, and it has not been guessed yet.
Yeah, and I see a lot of multiple guesses. Okay, we should have thought this through.
Well, we just take it to another live stream. Or are we not gonna do that?
I wasn't planning on doing that. I want to get rid of this thing.
Okay.
So yeah, what do we do about
Hey,
this?
there it is. There it is.
Is it?
There it is.
Yeah, I saw it.
I haven't seen it. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
Wait, I'm gonna check. I'm gonna check if he has replied
Yeah.
before.
Me too.
No, I haven't seen him. This is the first
Nice.
time, I think.
Okay,
Yeah.
we have a
Okay, so
winner.
it's Joshua
Coughlin.
Coughlin or something.
Coughlin.
Vanessa,
I
you're a
put it
native
in the-
speaker. What? How do you pronounce that?
Where is that?
It's the
Josh-
number
I said it
51.
Oh.
Joshua Coughlin.
Colin? Coughlin?
Coughlin.
I think you guys are right.
Where are you from, Joshua?
Coughlin, or maybe Coughlin. It might be an F.
Coughlin,
Oh, that's dangerous. These times.
ja. Godverdomme. Lekker.
All right.
Somebody says 1440 is the FIDA full mark, 720 is the double score, and 1405 must be Vanessa's best score.
The score.
Yeah, for 2 FIDAs maybe.
All right. That was
So
good.
yeah,
Area.
Joshua, congrats.
yeah.
Area 51. Everyone's going about. No, that's okay. No, how did we come up with this number? We just stacked our ages.
Except for Vanessa's, because then it wouldn't be under 100.
Oy.
Oh my god.
So Joshua, if you have social
From Ireland.
Instagram or Facebook, send us a message.
Or an email in the email that I just typed to you.
Contact us. Oh yeah, there he goes. And we're gonna get you the right size, the right hand. Yeah. Congrats.
Cool. Yeah. Very cool. I would like one as well.
Yeah.
What makes these tabs so good? What makes the Pro so good?
I actually shoot with the plastic version, so you have
It's-
to ask Gijs.
Well, the plastic version is super like it's just the same shape, but oh yeah, proof from Chef that it's actually 51. But the Pro, like for me, it feels more like solid because it's just metal, so you don't have the risk of breaking it somehow. But the plastic one is super solid too. But yeah, it's just personal preference. But it doesn't matter that much. It's just if you like a bit more heavier feeling in your
Yeah.
hands, then it's nice. But in scores, I don't have no clue if there's a difference. It's just what you like. But
Cool.
the app in general is just super comfortable. Like it's so simple, and it's so easy. Yeah, you can't like play around with it. It's just how it comes, and it's so like formed well to your hand actually, and it's great. I like it. Because my chin is quite big. Like I got quite some chin hair, and it's with other tabs I would like scratch it open because the metal
Yeah.
plate would get against my chin, and I would just scratch it open. I think a lot of people have that problem. With the Fairweather tab, no problems at all.
Nice.
So yeah, that's what I like. Let's get back to some questions.
Yeah. Question for Chef. Does Dutch Bow Store sell Fairweather tabs? Yes, we do. I don't know if it's on the web shop yet, but you can either email us or call us about which size you want or need, and you can try it in the store if we have it in stock.
Joshua, you asked which do you prefer, email or social media? Whatever you prefer. It's yeah, doesn't really matter to us.
Somebody says it looks like a 63 to me, but I don't know.
What?
Their guess was probably 63.
Chef, I sent you 2 pictures on Instagram so you can look at my shoulder if you don't mind. This is a recurring thing that people send me pictures of either their equipment or their technique. I am, for one, not a manufacturer, and for two, I'm also not a coach, so I'm very sorry, but I cannot just look at everybody's technique and give them tips, because I'm not a coach and I don't have unlimited time, so I'm sorry about that.
Yeah. Do you guys add extra material to your tab? I guess that you mean add some kind of grip maker or something to make it fit more, or like better. I don't do it personally.
Wait, I completely zoned out there.
Someone asked if you guys add extra material to your tab, or
No.
do you take away any material from your tab?
No, not with the Fairweather tab. I used to, when I still shot a Cavalier tab, I used to take like a file and make it rounder because I would slit my throat while releasing.
I've died a couple of times.
Yeah, I've died multiple times in the meanwhile. Now that the Fairweather tab, I don't need to alter in any way. I can just shoot from the box. I just trim the leather a bit because I shoot weirdly and I need to trim the leather.
Yeah, me too.
Someone asked about the Shibuya Chungtae Kim finger tab. Have you guys shot with it?
I've tried it like in my hand and pulling back a bow, but I haven't actually shot it, so I don't have too much of an opinion on it yet.
I tried it and it fits really nicely in my hand. I found it really comfortable, but I don't know. I like it. I just haven't shot long enough with it to have more of an opinion. It was comfortable though.
It looks sleek. It looks really sleek.
Yeah. Surprisingly simple, but it's comfortable.
Yeah, but that's the thing with tabs. I feel like the more simple it is, the better it is these days.
I agree.
Because in archery material, there's so much tuning options, and for me personally, I really like having options, like try playing around, but I never get too restive that. Like I never make a decision. So having as few options as possible is the best way to go for me.
Good point.
Same thing with food.
Yeah.
Somebody says that our coach, or one of our coaches, Emil, he has posted something on Facebook that he will look at people's videos to send them tips on their technique. So if you want that, you should check that out.
Yeah. So Emil Kusters, look him up at Facebook. His Facebook page. I'll just.
Somebody's asking me how have those headaches been. They have been quite good lately, as in I haven't had too many. So, yeah.
For change.
Is that related to your work?
It might be because I'm having a lot of fun at work and I can really I really enjoy being there. So it might be that I just am less stressful at the moment because of it.
Yeah. And there also was this question about, like, are you guys full-time archers? Do you qualify as a full-time archer now? I think or not?
Not at this particular moment, but I would still consider myself a full-time archer.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You as well, guys.
How about you guys? Yeah.
Well, yeah. Like, I do some studying in the meantime, the 3 hours that I have. But for the rest, I just train quite a lot.
Yeah. Studying your girlfriend.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Next question. Let's see.
I completely lost where we are in the questions.
Me too.
The headaches. Blah, blah.
Layers to the fingers for.
Is there any difference at shooting a top bow and shooting a beginner bow? Someone from Brazil.
There's a video about that.
Yes, there is.
Yeah.
But we made a
Really
video
good
about
video.
that.
We made a video about it, and Jaap's ass got whooped with a beginner's bow.
I have not seen this
True.
video. Where can I find this?
Quite enjoyable. So,
It's so good.
for a really trained archer, it doesn't matter. Oh no, wait, no. What's the right answer to this? I don't know.
I forgot the
It
question.
does.
The question, like, is there a difference between shooting a beginner bow and a
Yes.
professional bow?
Yes, there is.
Yeah,
There is a huge difference in shooting feel. So when I shot that match against Jaap, for the people who haven't seen it, it's on our channel, and I'm sure somebody can link it in the comments.
I'm about to do it.
The bow that I was shooting felt like a piece of shit, and it wouldn't be a bow that I would enjoy shooting for a longer period of time, because it had a lot of hand shock. Like it would jump all different kinds of places. It was wobbly after the shot. It felt like it was really stacking in the back, even though it was 70 inches. So it was not like a comfortable bow to shoot. And then on top of that, there was no way to tune it. So you couldn't align the limbs. You couldn't you couldn't even put the arrow center shot, because the cutout for the riser was past center shot, or wasn't past center shot. So the arrow was pointing like almost a centimeter out of the center shot. So all of these things combined would make it not the ideal setup for a competition. The fact that I won over Jaap in that instance was part because Jaap was practicing his new technique, so he was like making some mistakes that he wasn't paying attention to, and part that 18 meters
Story of my life, though.
and 18 meters, like, you can shoot a very good score on 18 meters with a very badly tuned bow. It's just not that difficult. So I think on 70 meters, which we would have probably done by now if the lockdown wasn't a thing, if the quarantine wasn't a thing, it would make more of a difference, and I wouldn't be able to get close to the scores that I can shoot with a high-end bow.
Yeah. There's your answer.
Yeah.
There's your answer. At which poundage do you guys think that you should add more than one layer of leather on your fingertip? Depends on the type of leather.
And the
first
thickness.
of all. And the thickness, yeah. That's what I meant.
And what you can handle.
Yeah.
It's true. And what your personal preference is. Sometimes people like feeling the string more than others.
Yeah. So I prefer to shoot with quite thin leather for just, like you said, feeling the string. But I know that Michele Frangilli, he has a philosophy that you should have 1 millimeter of leather for every 10 pounds. So if you shoot 50 pounds, you need to have half a centimeter of leather.
That's a lot. That's a lot of leather.
Yeah.
Damn,
Yeah.
yeah. What's the thought behind that? Do you know?
To keep your fingers healthy.
Okay, yeah.
Which there's a
Yeah.
point that makes sense, because my fingers hurt from the callus. And I have 3 letters for fair weather tab. Chef, you have 3 too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's quite thin, yeah. But that's at 50-ish pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the answer is actually don't know. Just use your personal preference.
Yeah.
Someone is asking, what's the best poundage for 70 meters?
We have a cat in the video. Hey.
Yeah.
What? Who's? Oh, yeah, of course.
Of course.
I'm not gonna finish this question now. But no. So what's the best poundage for 70 meters? I'm a teenager and I'm using a 32-pound bow.
I think the best
I
poundage for
guess
70 meters would be 300.
300 pounds. Yeah.
Yeah. But for a
Exactly as
teenager,
heavy as you can handle.
yeah, a teenager, yeah, well, that's a bit of a broad term, but I think 32 pounds should be enough to at least reach the 70 meters and be competitive. If you want to like get to an international level, you should probably look at around 40 pounds at least.
Yeah. So in the world top at the men division, I think everyone is at somewhere between 45 and 50 pounds, kind of right?
For the men's, yeah.
For the men, yeah, and for the women, how much
Between
is that?
40 and 50, I guess.
Between 40 and 52.
Yeah, for the
So,
top.
like the seniors are somewhere at 50, but 34.
Well, not all of them. I think a couple of, like a handful of females are around 50, but most of them are lower.
I'd say the strongest are like Ida Roman and Katina Lorig, maybe.
Yeah.
A lot of the Koreans are actually quite a bit lower, probably anywhere from 38 to 42.
Yeah, and to
Which
get back to
tells you a lot.
the beginning of this live stream, don't the Korean ladies, even though they have like 26, 27 inch draw length, don't they shoot a 70-inch bow?
Really?
I'm not sure, but I've heard rumors that Kibo Bay always used to shoot a 70-inch.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'm pretty sure Park Sang-hyun shot a 68-inch bow, but I might be wrong.
Okay.
And I think Chang Hye-jin shoots 66.
Okay. Well, she's tiny, so that makes sense.
She's tiny.
Real
yeah.
tiny.
Somebody's asking if we are just giving away one tab only. The answer is yes.
Yes.
Let's see. Can you do the test between beginner bow and advanced bows at 70 meters, preferably with the same poundage? And Chef shot both bows. Yes.
We can have live streams together again.
Yeah.
The quarantine is gone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We might do it in a live stream actually.
In your home.
Yeah.
No, Gijs has a home range, so maybe we can do it over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll see you guys. So tomorrow. Let's do it tomorrow. That's good.
Okay.
I can't. I have to work.
Oh god. Gijs can do it on his own.
Yeah.
They're not a beginner. I can use the gold medalist.
Yeah, I can ship you the beginner bow.
Yeah.
You can actually do that.
Yeah.
I have a camera here, so. Oh yeah, then I have a microphone.
Yeah, that's fine. People don't want to hear you anyways. What bow do you recommend at Chef? So, another thing, this is a pet peeve of mine. Vanessa, pay attention, you asked me about pet peeves in another live stream. A pet peeve of mine is that even though I'm sponsored, people don't believe I can give honest advice and honest opinions about stuff. So if somebody asks me what bow do you recommend, as in that to me means what bow do you think shoots the best at the moment, would be the Formula X with or the XI with Velo's limbs. I truly believe that, but I can say that now in the live stream and people will say, oh, but he's sponsored, so I don't believe him.
Well, the thing is that if you look at the scores from past year, there is some proof to that the Formula X with Velo's limbs is quite a good bow, because Chef was the first European to shoot 690 with it, and then since then on the World Championships there were like 4 or 5 people with 690.
I don't know. I had 692, but I don't know what my rank was.
I can actually look it up.
Okay, but yeah, that's I truly believe that the equipment I shoot at the moment is some of the best, or if not the best equipment out there in the world, and I am sponsored for the equipment I shoot because I've chosen that equipment and I want to endorse the company. And it's not like they have come to me like, hey, we have a product, we want you to endorse it. So it sort of, it goes backwards in that sense.
Yeah, because like, let's be fair, if you would decide to shoot, for example, win-a-win, they would be glad to have you probably.
Yeah.
It's not like Chef.
And I have tried different brands, but I always come back to Ahoy because it just fits my shooting technique and shooting style the best.
So in you were fifth in at the World Championships with 692, and 6 people at 690 actually.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And what would you say to people who are not pursuing a career as an archer, but just amateurs who like shooting, but they're never gonna reach the level you're at? What would you say to them? I mean,
for
need,
equipment.
Especially the bow, because everyone. I have this idea that a lot of people are looking for this ultimate setup, the ultimate arrows, the ultimate bow, which they can get the most points with. But if you're not going to be a professional, is it that important to get 1 or 2 points more? I would say I'd even go for a bow that I like as aesthetically. I mean the green thing I'm shooting now. I really like that thing, and I would rather shoot it than another ugly, more expensive bow.
But
that
the
I would
RX.
probably shoot. What?
That's an RX, an Hoyt Formula RX, which was top of the line bow, but it's just kind of outdated.
I know, but
it's still a really good.
Exactly. But I mean, it's just the comparison I can make. But if there was another bow that was much better than this one, and also much more expensive, then I still would be like, why? It's,
And I think that's a good way to go about it. Just pick something that you can afford, but also something that you'll enjoy shooting.
Yeah.
So I believe.
Don't go and get a second mortgage to get a very expensive bow if you don't know how to shoot it.
I believe, like when you're talking about risers, that buying a second-hand, high-end riser that's maybe a little bit outdated is actually a really good way to go, because you have a really good riser, and they don't wear out basically.
Yeah,
that's really good.
It's I think it's even better to get a second-hand riser than to get second-hand limbs, even though most people treat their limbs in a proper way. There's still some probability of the limbs being used a lot, and they will change over time, whereas a riser will probably stay the same for another 30 years or so. Somebody's asking, saw your video $200 versus $2,000 setup. Is equipment really that important? Nick, I encourage you to watch back this live stream when we upload it after we're done shooting it, and then
Jeff has talked quite a bit about it.
Yeah. So I've done a whole answer, and the short answer is yes, equipment is important, but up until a certain point. Let's see, how's the Fairweather barebow tab? I don't know, because I don't shoot barebow, so I haven't shot it yet. My dad has it, and he shoots barebow, and he says he's super happy with it, but he shoots probably once a month, so you shouldn't just take his word for it, but look around at what other people say.
How much bow grip can influence bow arm and form as a whole? It seems like a really interesting question, but I don't know exactly what's meant here.
I think they mean if you have a low or high wrist grip, how does it impact your technique?
So you once said to me, and I feel like that too, that a low, like a lower grip, low wrist grip, low wrist grip, will actually make it easier to have your bow shoulder lower.
Yeah, for me it is that way, because if I have a high grip, I cannot put my shoulder down in the same way that I can when I have you can see it in my whole arm, that it sort of just sits well if I have a lower grip.
Yeah.
So there's been examples of great archers like Natalia Valeva shooting with an extremely high grip. Yeah, but I just can't do that because my shoulder will creep up and I cannot keep it down without having a huge amount of pressure and force on my shoulder. Oh.
Yeah.
I think also talking about where your hand position is in the grip affects how solid your rotation of your arm is too.
Yeah.
Like if you're too far in and you're having to rotate too much, that's not solid. If you're too far out, your bow arm probably doesn't have good alignment, so that's affecting everything on your shoulder as well.
Yeah, sounds logical to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, how much battery do you have left?
Sorry, what?
How much battery do you have left?
8%, I guess.
Oh, so we can do about 5 more minutes then.
No, it's been. I like.
So Jaap is live streaming from his
iPhone now. Yeah. No, I guess we can do. Well, let's just see how far it
Yeah, we
gets.
can see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's just talk until Jaap's phone dies, and then I'll say goodbye.
Well, I for one would like to start cooking soon, so I'm not gonna stick around for the rest of the evening. So
Okay, let's answer the last few questions then, and then
Sounds good.
we'll be back actually next week, I think.
yeah, we're planning to do this to make this a weekly thing.
Yeah.
And we are looking at the possibility to get a different guest each time, but maybe maybe if Vanessa is really interested, we can
see.
we can still add Vanessa to the conversation if you guys.
Just any other guest.
Okay,
We'll,
I feel like I insulted
that.
Vanessa without meaning to.
So you insulted me when you said that our combined ages would be over 100, Chef.
Oh, so you're saying I'm already out of bounds, so I might as well just kick it up a notch.
Sure,
Yeah.
whatever you want.
Right.
What dovetail setting do you use for your formula? How can you? Oh, that
Yeah.
one. Dovetail setting. I use the stiff one.
Me too. I like that performance setting as they call it.
One.
In the performance, yeah. I like the original. What is it called? The smoothest setting.
Yeah.
But my tuning just didn't really work there, so I changed it to performance. Like I was trying to tune my arrows, and then I changed it to performance setting, and then all of a sudden it worked, and then I was just like, okay, this is all right. Let's just leave it here. So yeah, that's what I did.
Somebody has a great idea, guys.
I already know what you're gonna say.
To add our girlfriends next time in the live stream.
I can ask if she wants to.
Yeah, me too. What about you, Jaap?
Yeah. What about you, Jaap?
I can ask your girlfriends to join. That's fine.
Andreas Hoyt said that they will make a production to fix the Formula X riser. Do you know anything about that, Chef? No. I'm sorry, no. And on that note, on that bombshell, as
Mr. Hoyt,
okay.
You have Chef available for left-handed people in Formula XE, obviously.
I think he means the. Oh, I think yeah. Well, if the Formula XI is what he means, yes, the Formula XI is available for left-handed people. If you mean the grip that we're working on and that is probably coming very soon, not yet, because it's a big investment to do both right and left-handed. So we start with right-handed.
Inventory, just it's expensive for us, mostly for Chef, and working on that.
Yeah. So. Thanks everybody for watching, I guess we'll see you.
Me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Vanessa.
For being here.
I'm gonna plug in my Instagram. If anybody wants to see.
Yeah. If anyone wants to see Vanessa talking smart stuff about archery, physiotherapy, and all that stuff, then go to her Instagram.
Yeah.
Or going crazier about this.
Exactly.
Look at Vanessa dancing.
Sick dance moves at Miss Vanessa Lee.
Or if if you want me to ask your girlfriend to be on the next trip trouble, there it is. My Instagram.
Nice.
All right.
Just go to the Triple Trouble 1 and you'll find everyone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone for watching, and see you next time.
Cheers.
Houdoe.
Guys.
Ciao.
See ya.
And now, Chef's gonna close off the live stream. Yo, Jaap's gone too.